Hello and welcome to a new series of Stationeers. I thought it might be fun to do a bit of a challenge episode with the newly introduced hunger. So let's start a new world and see how fast we can grow some food. This new spawn's looking pretty decent already. It's nice and level. Always like to lock the mask and shut off our flashlight. Probably a good idea to start in a reasonably flat area. So let's grab our construction supplies and see about getting some solar power set up. I think maybe over here is a good spot to start. So let's put down some frames and see which way the sun is rising and setting. I think it's an east-west line this way. So we should be okay to build ourselves a bit of a platform to start right here. For anyone new to Stationeers, you may not be unfamiliar with the building tool requirements in this game, which is a little more elaborate than most. Definitely original, but enjoyable, a little more realistic than most. So after we've set our frame components down, we're now welding steel into them to make sure they're a structure we can walk on. We just use our jetpack to get out of there. Now that we've got a bit of a base set up, we'll be able to get ourselves some solar power together. And hopefully create an enclosed shelter. So with the sun east to west across, I think I'm going to have solar go out this way. And we're going to want to rotate him. And also need some glass so it starts to produce some power for us. Now we can automate our solar panel to follow the sun, but I think we're going to need some materials for that first. First and foremost is gold to make the electronics required for the circuits. But this is producing, it should be producing. So if we use our wrench now, we'll be able to get this oriented towards the sun. So 90 degrees, and now we're getting some power produced, which is good. Next, probably a good idea to get something set up to collect this power into a battery. So we'll just throw down our first power controller to take care of that for us right now. And I believe we need the crowbar to open it. So just put that in our other hand. And we're going to need to wire this up. I think to start, I will put a three-way junction in to ensure we're good for expanding in the future. Save us having to shut down the system. So now at least we're going to have the ability to maintain our life support battery in the suit. Next thing to remember is, of course, hunger is going to be an issue in this. And our challenge is to get a closed habitat so we can actually grow some hydroponics. Our other construction materials, I believe is yellow, yes. So let's bring him over as well. As long as the physics engine allows us to move. There we go. Get these a little closer to the platform. Make it easier for us to build. So, we're going to need to implement an airlock to enter and exit this facility. And at this point, we only have iron frames to work with, no steel composite wall components. We're going to need light to allow our plants to grow, so steel and a furnace is going to be a requirement before we're able to complete the hydroponic side. So I think if I'm going to have the solar array move out this way, it's maybe a good idea to keep everything at least a cell width away from our solar array to ensure we're not blocking the sun at any time. So let's put our wire away, get the solar panel ready for morning, and I guess lay out some more frames in this direction where we will build our airlock. So we'll start with the frames, and I know airlocks need at least 3 wide, so if we make this the airlock space, that's going to make the airlock happy. And now an interior space we're going to want for our hydroponics. Filling this with atmosphere is going to be difficult, so I think keeping it small at first is a good idea. Maybe 2 by 2 or 2 by 3 even. Let's sneak out here and add another row. Another trick I found to save some jetpack is if you just get right up to the edge of something like this, it will boost your jump a little. So sometimes you can avoid using the jetpack in those situations. Hopefully this isn't too dark on YouTube. This is my first video, so please feel free to leave feedback and comments to help improve. I'm sure this is going to be a work in progress, but it will only get better with time. So we'll weld up these frames to get a start on this habitat, and I think we'll go with maybe 1 glass wall and some glass ceilings to help to allow the light in for the hydroponics. So now that we have all that together, I'm going to leave the rest, I think, for walls. But we're going to need the composite wall panel, which requires steel, in order to get a window. So let's see, we're going to need to get a furnace together. Let's get basic arc furnace and auto lathe set down in a small crafting area here, just so I can keep production moving forward, if you will. So next, the arc furnace. I like to have it in a spot where I can easily access sort of both sides. I think that's gonna do for now. And our output is right by our input for the lathe, so that should be fine. Now, if we lay some cable here, should be able to connect all these up reasonably quickly. And maybe go for our first mining run. Look at getting that furnace. Okay, so this should have this stuff operational now. Have I put you in backwards? Autolate is powering. So this must not light until it's actually got something to cook, that's all. Okay, furnace requirements are going to be pretty heavy, I think. And I'm also going to want a passive vent for the airlock to function. So we're going to need a hydraulic pipe bender as well. Again, more gold. So I think a farming run is probably a good idea at this point. Let's maybe lay down a bit more of our components just to ensure we're not forgetting anything else we need. So we want our airlocks. And I'm not sure if the 1D airlock is still bugged, but if it is, I'm sure we will find out rather quickly. There's formerly a bug that the airlocks that were only one cell were leaking, but I think that's been patched. So next we are going to definitely want our passive vent out of this hydraulic bender, which we don't have yet. So yeah, we've got to go for that farming run, definitely. Let's take both of these, just put them in position. We'll put the vent here, and I'm gonna put the console on this side. I don't think we need a dual console, so that should be fine. That's gonna be a bunch of wiring, but there's no point in really putting that in now until we're in a situation that we can actually power it all up. I'm going to need to unweld this so that we can get access to add our piping. And we'll just get that in and out of the way right now. Actually, I put a frame in there I don't need. I should get that back too. Alright, so if we put some pipes in here, this active vent should be able to passive vent just back into our containment. And we're good to go. Some people will just use a pipe to hold what is pumped out. I kind of like to connect them. It's just more realistic how things actually would be stuck in here. Rotate these around to just bring our straight pipe out into the room. So that should be fine. We need one more. And now our passive vent can be applied there. So gonna need to drop the pipes, get out our welder, turn it on, and re-weld the frame. And turn that off, back into the tool belt, pick up the pipes. And I think I'm going to reclaim that frame that we don't need. I guess there's another one on the other side here. Initially I had built and welded as well. I could remove. My hands are full, so I guess we'll go over here and empty out our inventory. I'm starting to get some empty pockets, or some empty cells here, so I can actually empty out my backpack and get us a little more working space. We're not going to need network analyzer cards or anything for a while, so let's just dump all of this. The PDA, the pill that doesn't do anything for me. I think it heals me. Generator I don't like to use, it just wastes coal I can make steel out of. We'll keep the pipes in the backpack, they're useful. Keep the iron sheets in the backpack, again useful. And the frames. So now I would be able to go over and uninstall that a little more efficiently. And our sun's coming back. And I put our building tools in front of our solar panel. will only really affect us early in the morning, so I'm not too concerned, but I probably will end up moving them just for the OCD nature. Next, we want the frame back here. I don't think either of those are required. I believe they make a corner-to-corner seal for airlock, so that saves us, again, some more materials. Yes, I put them in the backpack. So easy to lose things in this game. Inventory management is definitely different than most, but I enjoy it. I like the challenge. I think I'm going to call it here for the first episode, so that we can I can have a look, see how everything turns out for levels. And please feel free to leave me some comments, some feedback. If there's anything you have to suggest for the series, I'd be happy to hear it. And again, subscribe if you'd like to see some more videos. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you again.